Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rini Kinanti. Today I will explain about discourse analysis and linguistics. Discourse analysis and linguistics. Introduction. What is discourse analysis? Discourse analysis is a rapidly growing and evolving field. For others, for example, Fasol 1990, page 65. The study of discourse is the study of language use. This definition have in common a focus on specific intentions or aspect of language. So, discourse analysis is the study of how strategies of language use in communication. Intonation and discourse. Elizabeth Cooper Cullen. First, looking back, and second, looking at now, third, looking ahead, and fourth, looking far ahead. First, looking back. Looking back. By the 1980s, it was beginning to be apparent to some linguists that there might be a discourse function of intonation which would merit investigation. Second, looking at now, first, there has been a major paradigm shift with respect to the role of intonation in language. Third, looking ahead, beyond the intonation phrase and beyond intonation. And fourth, looking far ahead, intonation and timing, which is locally impacted and strategically deployed by both within and across speaking terms. Cohesion and texture. G.R. Martin. Cohesion can be defined as the set of resources for constructing relation in discourse which transcend grammatical structure. Halliday, 1994, page 309. In Halliday and Hassan, 1976, the inventory of cohesive researches was organized as reference, ellipsis, substitution, conjunction, and lexical cohesion. Discourse semantic. Halliday's non-structural textual researches were thus reworked a semantic system concerned with discourse structure comprising identification, negotiation, conjunction, and ideation. Markers, discourse markers, language meaning and content. Deborah Skifrin. Markers and cohesion. Halliday and Hassan proposed that a set of cohesive devices, reference, repetition, substitution, ellipsis, and conjunction help create a text by indicating semantic relation in an underlying structure of idea. And markers and discourse. Skifrin define discourse markers as sequentially dependent elements that break unit of thought. Markers and pragmatic. Pragmatic meaning concern the speaker communicative intention, and discourse marker are one type of compulsory pragmatic marker and Fraser's classification of types of pragmatic meaning. Theory method analysis the importance of the data. The discourse in part is a list, a hierarchical description of members of a set. Skiprin, C. Du Bois and Sankoff. This volume all lists display a speaker identification and organization of a set of items that are clearly the same in some ways, and marker across context, across language, and over time. A conversational analytic study of Ain studied its use as a preface to question in clinical consultation. Discourse and semantic. Neil Arnoric. Semantic as a distinct field was first proposed by Brill in 1883. He suggests the term semantic way for the study of the laws which govern the transformation of sense, the choice of new experience, the birth and death of location. First, the shifting paradigm. Second, indexiality and anaphora. Third, presupposition. Fourth, speech act. Fifth, entitlement. Sixth, interpersonal meaning. Discourse and relevance theory. Diane Blackmore, First Coherence and Discourse. Mann and Thompson have claimed that the search for coherence plays an essential role for the recovery of the implicature recovered from an utterance. Hughes has claimed that reference assignment is a consequence of the here search for coherence, and Asher and Les Cordes have argued that disambiguation can be seen as a consequence of the here search of discourse coherence. Second, relevance and coherence. Relevance is defined in terms of contextual effect and processing expert. Ferber and Wilson argue that the presumption of relevance carried by every act of age of ostensive communication has two aspects. First, it creates a presumption that the information it communicates interact, and second, it creates a presumption that the gratuitous processing effort is required for the recovery of effects. Third, the arrangement of coherence relation, sequence, explanation, exemplification, restatement. For implication for discourse understanding, within coherence-based approaches to discourse, expression like utterance, initial, so will, still, after all are classified as discourse marker, a term which is intended to reflect the role that this expression, discourse and information structure, Gregory Ward and Betty Z. Bierner, theoretical framework. Focus are presupposition. Presupposed information is the complement of focus. A presupposition is a preposition that is presupposed in this way. New to the discourse versus new to the hearer. Prince offers a pair of cross-cutting dichotomies which classify information as, on the one hand, preposing. As we use the term of preposing is a sentence in which a lexical governed phrase constituent appears to the left on its canonical position, typical postposing. The term postposing denotes any construction in which a lexical governed phrase constituent appears to the right of its canonical position, typical but not exclusive in sentence final position, leaving its canonical position either empty or also occupied by an expletive. Bierner and Ward, 1996. Argument reversal, imprecision, pacification. Left dislocation. Left dislocation is superficially similar to preposing, but in left dislocation, a co-referential pronoun appears in the marked constituent canonical position. Right dislocation, like existential and presential, their insertion. Right dislocation involves the non-canonical placement of an argument of the verb in post-verbal position. Historical discourse analysis, Laurel G. Brinton. Historical discourse analysis, discourse-oriented historical linguistics. The second approach to historical discourse analysis is one which seeks to find the origins. Chronically oriented discourse analysis. The third type of historical discourse analysis is one which examines the evolution of discourse marking over time. Next, typology and discourse analysis, John Mill. Problems of typological discourse analysis. Problem for typological discourse analysis as compared with more traditional discourse analysis is the degree of familiarity of the researcher with the language to be analyzed. Universal system of classification of discourse function. Referential distance on topic persistence, temporal sequencing, other types of text counts. Translation data, it is useful in that it gives some idea of the functional similarity of difference between construction in different language. Register variation, a corpus approach, Douglas Weber and Susan Conrad. Register perspective and traditional linguistic investigation, register variation in lexical description, and register variation in grammatical description. And second, register comparisons, overview of the multidimensional MD approach to register variation, and comparison of the major oral literate dimension in English, Korean, and Somali, and the last, register variation in more specialized domain.
Maybe that's all for me. I apologize of a mistake and thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.